What's up guys, and welcome to another Warcraft replay. This is going to be played, I think, on the Netease ladder. This was actually a best of 3, and well, let's just say I'm just going to be casting this one because I had a sneak peek on the first two. The first game was 40 minutes long and it involved siege tanks, so skip that one because, I mean, it kind of seemed like a tug of war kind of thing. Back and forth, lots of back and forth, but no real variation. And then the second game was 6 minutes long and it involved not much happening. So as you can tell, I chose this one instead. Either way, Sock spawning in as the blue human player in the bottom left, and we have Moon spawning in. I believe this is Moon, considering this is like top 10 in the Netease monthly rankings. I'll give the benefit of the doubt, I just don't recognize the nickname. But either way, Moon spawning in as the red and Night Elf in the top right. Demon Hunter versus Archmage. And so far, not much is actually happening. Map is on Amazonia. And yeah, this is actually a fairly lengthy game as well. The first game, which was 42 minutes long, was on Terranus Stands. And then surprisingly enough, we have another 30-minute or so game on Amazonia. So small maps tend to actually produce a very large amount of lengthy games here. Why is I was actually following the wisp, but somehow it instantly went over to the peasants, so that is a little weird. Man, the speed seems slow for some reason, but it is at 1 times speed. 2 times speed is way too quick, so I mean, it's not even that long since I casted. I think it was a day or two ago that I've casted Focus vs. Infi, so everything seems so off. Maybe it's been a while since I've seen a human at all. I think the last time was Nostalgia Craft, and that was like last month, so Anyway, Archmage and Demon Hunter clearing out their respective camps. Ring picked up for the Archmage, meanwhile Demon Hunter picks up +3 agility and gloves of haste. So yeah, really good items for himself. Archmage actually picks up Mantle of Intelligence as well, so it's alright. I mean, Archmage is one of those heroes that don't actually need any items, so compared to the Demon Hunter, he is not too excited about that one, I guess. Demon Hunter going for a mana burn onto the Archmage, gonna prevent him from summoning any further elementals, I guess. Maybe if he goes for another one, that will be a definite no more elementals. But Rock Golem Camp is going to be started. Detonate actually going to be used instead of mana burns, so gonna hit both the elemental and the Archmage there. Seems like Demon Hunter wasn't able to pick up the elemental kill, but he was able to pick up a footman in exchange and might actually go for a second one. Archer is going to melt to the shadows there. Rock Golem is not going to be picked up by the Night Elf player. Instead, the item is going to be stolen, which is going to be the Scroll of the Beast. And it seems like Moon is going to retreat with his units. That low hit point Archer is going to live to see another day, and another mana burn onto the Archmage. Either way, Demon Hunter taking a huge amount of damage for that kind of harass. Archmage already at level 3 since he did take down the Golem. Demon Hunter is just gonna sell that scroll for a pair of boots, and he should be in no real danger at this point with boost of speed. Halfway to tier 2 for Moon, and we are halfway to an expansion for Sock. He did speed builder, but it seems like he is out of lumber, I believe, so he will not be able to speed build it to completion. So far, not much is happening. Footman actually being chased down there. Not sure why he was there, but yeah, being by himself will result in a quick death, and the music is off. That is rather awkward.
Our forces are under attack.
Town Hall is completed. It seems like another footman is going to drop, so Sock is losing a lot of his footmen early on, and probably could be avoided. Just needs just needs to back off against that Demon Hunter. Mercenaries also being hired up for the Night Elf player. Pretty standard. Demon Hunter is gonna get level 3 after taking down the Berserker, picking up another +3 agility there. So he kinda has claws, I guess. But of course he does have the benefit of 6 agility as well. So he gets a little bit of armor. Not too much. With the expansion done, I believe tier 2 should be popping up fairly soon whenever he gets the necessary wood. He is actually pretty far behind in lumber, so maybe he should hire the services of a shredder, I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna chunk down the Demon Hunter quite a bit, and we'll probably be forced to use that TB scroll. Oh, nope, it's gonna live with 20 or so health, so very lucky for Moon. Not gonna lose too many on his side, I believe. I don't actually think he even lost a unit, so that is good in itself, but it seems like that will change fairly soon. Archer is gonna be taken down thanks to the Footman's blocking there. Oh, there we go. Shredder has been hired, and yeah, I was expecting that to be hired earlier, but I guess I actually don't know if he was supply blocked or not. But either way, that should solve his lumber problems. Double Ancient of Laws for Moon. Ancestral Blessing. Nature's Blessing is also being researched. I guess it's just a loose end to tie, because this actually doesn't do anything at this point in the game. He's not going to tower rush his opponent, I don't think, and his gold mine is nowhere near being depleted for him to move his Tree of Ages, so it's probably just for the later stage, I guess, or maybe it's the armor. But either way, not much comment about that. Ancient Roll creeping at the Rock Golem camp. It seems like the Elemental is going to be picked up by the archers there, so experience given over to the Demon Hunter. Sock doing everything in his power to give experience over to his counterpart, and it seems like the Demon Hunter actually overtook his opponent in terms of experience, giving level 4 to the Demon Hunter. And we hear so many deaths, but I don't see any of them actually dying, so that is weird. Or might have been those trolls, I don't know, but Demon Hunter is chasing down the Archmage. Footmen are let loose against this very exposed Night Elf base. We do hear Zeppelin being hired up. 2 Zeppelins. Oh, okay, a Zeppelin for each side. Somehow I completely forgot that Sock was the blue player instead of red. But Moon doing his best to Zeppelin micro his units, and it seems like it is going to be enough to push back this attacking threat. Although I believe Moon did lose quite a bit of wisps in his main base. Unfortunate, but of course he can just bounce back. He does have a shirt of his own, so no lumber problems there, I believe. Yep, no lumber problems. Sock, on the other hand, is sitting on a whole bunch of resources. Oh yeah, why did I switch visions? I have this thing right here. But yeah, Sock's sitting on 1200, 700, so he can definitely go, like, can definitely place down double Sanctums without problems. It seems like he already has a Blacksmith down, +1 armor for those eventual Spellbreakers as well. Yeah, that's a lot of resources. That's a lot more resources than normally you would have at this point in the game with an expansion, but would he even go triple Sanctums? I have no idea. Nagasi Witch gets picked up as the second hero for Sock, so definitely playing very aggressive here. Was looking for a Zeppelin drop, but enemy Zeppelin is going to spot it and actually going to keep tabs on it, in fact, so yeah, Moon is going to be aware of that. Archmage is going to be dropped to try and deal with that Zeppelin, as the main Night Elf force is actually too busy dealing with the creep camp. Zeppelin is going to be taken down, and Archmage is Oh, I thought he was going to be retreating there, but he dropped his entire army on the ground. Nagasi, which is taking quite a bit of damage as well, is going to be picked up with a Zeppelin. No Zeppelin for Moon is going to mean a couple of the units are going to fall, as seems like Sok also lost a Zeppelin, and the Nagasi, which is going to get bursted down as well. So very good trades here for the Night Elf side, only losing I think 1 or 2 units in exchange for a Nagasi Witch kill. Definitely a very weird fight to actually pick if you were Sok. All he had was his 2 heroes and footmen versus the tier 2 hero army of Moon, so really questionable that he actually chose that fight, but either way is going to be producing his spellcasters. No spellbreakers just yet, but we do have those riflemen and, to act as the main DPS, and actually going for mortar teams as well. So very diverse army comp for Sok right now. Normally you would just go rifle casters, but he's gonna go rifle casters plus mortar teams. So yeah, that extra resources that he was holding on to was able to allow him to go workshops as well. And this should be a very powerful army comp to deal with. And I'm very curious to see how Moon is going to deal with this with just the standard double lore units here. Expansion attempt on the top, and actually the expansion is already done, so should be able to catch up with his opponent in terms of economy. Towers being placed down just to fortify his position, but it is just 1 tower, but he is able to lay siege with his mortar teams here. I guess it's appropriate to look at population. Right now 70 for Sok, so that's a lot of units right now for himself. He also brought in a couple of militias, so of course that skewed population is not too skewed since militias still act as combat units. And here we go with the fight here. Rejuvenation is going to be stolen with the spellbreakers there. Moon only has 54 units, so, or 54 supply. Oh, just jumped to 62, but I believe those are just being trained up. He needs to be very careful here because he does not have any solid way of actually dealing with those mortar teams. Oh wow, level 5 Demon Heart. That is extremely quick level 5 here. And a huge Breath of Fire doing a lot of damage to those towers. Wand of Illusion is going to be used to try and soak up the damage, hopefully. But right now, it's just soaking up damage against those footmen. Another Breath of Fire will be able to take down 2 out of 3 towers there. And the Dryad and Archers will be able to pick up the remainder. It seems like Sok is slowly being pushed back, but he does have the safety of 1 guard tower and those 2 mortar teams there. He needs to be extremely careful about his rejuvenations. He's just giving away those spells to his opponent. Seems like this is the real Demon Hunter there, and oh, he's so close to being killed. Oh, Spellbreaker will be able to pick up with a long distance glaive. I am super surprised that Moon actually allowed the Demon Hunter to actually get taken down. I think he was very banking on the fact that he was out scot-free, but that one Spellbreaker decided to add a couple more 100 range on his auto attack and was able to pick up the Demon Hunter for very much no losses on Sok's side, aside from the towers of course, but those are very minimal losses. Seems like the mortar teams are just attacking for free. Very hard to actually deal with this current army comp. Lots of bears, but the bears are being held back by the Shredder, the Footmen, and the Spellbreakers. The Dryads are just being picked up by the mortar teams as well. Army supply is evening out, but of course it looks very difficult for Moon to actually deal with this right now, even though he does have an equal amount of units, I guess, kind of. Bears are very demotivated to roar as well because of those Spellbreakers. Feedback damage from the arcane towers as well, very difficult to deal with. Demon Hunter is very close to level 6. If there's any way of actually coming back and pushing this attack away, it would be a
Job done.
metamorphosized demon hunter, but for now, it seems like Moon is just gonna trade blows and trade kills, I guess, which I guess would be pretty good for himself since level 6 is a huge power spike for the demon hunter, picking up very low hit point stragglers here. Shredder might follow suit as well, but you can see there the explosions from the mortar teams picking up archers and dryads, and on the occasion, I guess, a couple of bears as well. Double preservation staff is definitely something I like to see from Moon. We'll be able to save double the units compared to usual. Legacy, which is finally going to hit level 2 after a couple of archer kills here. Surprising that the archers and dryads are stuck behind. Meanwhile, the bears were pulled out, but there goes another breath of fire, and that means a couple more units dead. Legacy, which is going to fall at level 2 here, and that is just going to give even more experience to the demon hunter, who is actually going to hit level 6, and that will mean Metamorphosis is coming down. The splash damage is going to do a huge amount of damage to those backline units, and that is, you can see here, forcing Sock to actually retreat with his backline. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers just can't deal with all those bears, and Sock's population is just sinking. It has gone down to no upkeep. Meanwhile, Moon is still at 71. This one hero is going to force the entire human army to actually back off, and these units sticking to fight, which is not a good idea, as the demon hunter is just going to make quick work out of these guys. The bears are just going to clean up the leftovers here. Not enough frontline for the human player. Panda is being chunked down a little bit, but he does have the TP scroll just in case. He is going to back off, and those low hit point bears will follow him back to base as well. Moonwell's unfortunately not really filled up, as yeah, it is still daytime, but the expansion is going to be completely destroyed. Yep, there we go, completely destroyed here. Demon Hunter is out of his demon form, but he is very close to level 7 as well, so you can see how many kills he actually picked up by himself. So close to level 7 already, despite just recently hitting level 6. Pandy, on the other hand, is about to hit that level, very important level 5 as well, which is going to be very huge for future sieges from the human player. Those towers probably only need one breath of fire, and then the bears and dryads should be able to clean it up by themselves. A very difficult position for Sock to be in. He was in such a pressuring point, but now that the demon hunter has his demon form, it's gonna be one tough nut to crack, and it seems like he will be hitting level 7 fairly soon. 1 or 2 units for himself. Honestly, just 2 peasants, and that's just it for the demon hunter. Will he go for those easy kills there? I don't know, but it seems like the well-rounded comp of Sock just doesn't seem to be enough. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen a little more Spellbreakers, but I didn't see that many when the demon hunter turned, so a little questionable, I guess. But maybe he could go Castle Tech and go Knights to try and be a bit more beefy of a front line. I just don't know. Bears are 1-1 on upgrades. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are also 1-1 as well. Mortar team's going 1-0. And will it go even more? Doesn't seem like it. As right now, he's sitting on a lot of gold, not enough lumber. So sending that shredder did of course slow down his lumber gathering rate. Flare has been researched, so that will be, I guess, a good tool in keeping track of the map. Seems like a map bug here, as I mean, obviously nothing's here, so really weird. It is gonna hit nighttime soon as well, so this would be a good time to actually attack Sock if you are Moon, because your Moon Wells will be recharging while you're laying down pressure on your opponent. But for now, he's just going to be taking down this Granite camp, which it seems like it's going to be very easy tanking here for the Demon Hunter. Will not be able to get any experience because he is over 5, but that will be experience for the... Actually no, the Panda's already level 5 as well, so never mind. Item is going to be Pipe of Insight for the Panda, so that is going to be Brilliant Aura, which is extremely important for, I guess, this entire army comp, because they do have mana bars. And of course it does matter for the Panda because it's basically a Sobi Mask, I guess, but it hits your allies as well, so extremely useful item there. Panda will be able to Breath of Fire a lot. Yeah, a lot. Could go for the second Granite Camp, which would be really risky considering your opponent is very nearby. Seems like Sok has hit low upkeep, and it is at 72 versus Moon 63, so Moon did lose a couple of units on his side, but he is not afraid of picking fights here. Breath of Fire was able to do quite a bit of damage to those spellcasters. Level 7 has been gained for the Demon Hunter. Panda is extremely low, he needs to be a little careful there. Another Breath of Fire, not able to two-shot those spellcasters, and it seems like enough damage was dealt. The Panda will be killed off at level 5, so a bit of an oopsies there, especially since he did have access to his staff. Panda will be revived to the tavern. But like I said, since it is nighttime, those moon walls are recharging and they will be able to be used. Panda is just going to be rejuved back to full. I'm not sure if he's going to use those moon walls for mana, but for now Moon is just going to be retreating a little bit. He did indeed use the moon walls for mana there, as he will be joining the fight very soon. 63 versus 76. Definitely a lot more spellbreakers than last time, so let's see how well this Demon Hunter will do against this. You can see the splash damage is absolutely disgusting there, and Breath of Fire plus the splash damage of the Demon Hunter is going to do quick work of those spellcasters there. Yikes, that is a lot of damage dealt for just a couple of seconds of attacks. Does have the scroll regen, will he use it? I don't know. It seems like the priests are just going to work overtime instead. And it seems like peasants have been caught on the walk. 80 supply for the human player, but he just doesn't seem to be confident enough to deal with this Demon Hunter, who will be coming out of that form very soon. Is just going to go after those peasants in the gold line there. Splash damage is a wonderful thing, and we'll be able to pick up all those peasants. Dryads need to be careful not to get too chunked out by those mortar teams, but Demon Hunter is now out of his demon form. Definitely not a fight that should be picked if you are Moon, but he is going to try his best to pick up a couple of free kills before most likely TPing out. Yep, there we go. Panda on the other hand is going to be was going to be checked by the slow, but of course Dryads can just abolish that out. Ooh, very difficult position for Sok to be in. He does have the necessary spellbreakers, but when it comes down to the Demon Hunter's cooldowns, very, very small window. And it seems like Moon is going to add a couple of mountain giants as well. Will be illusioned, but of course that's just a lot of health to soak up. And yet again, it seems like Sok is going to be forced to play a little bit safe here. Demon Hunter is going to be chunked down a little bit. He does have the Roar, which is not actually being stolen. Oh, finally the Spellbreakers are going to steal the Roars here. And the fight will actually continue as 75 versus 71. No real focus fire just yet. It seems like this is the real Mountain Giant, as he did go for the taunt. The rest are just illusions. Mortar teams making quick work out of those Dryads, but they're split so well that mortar teams can't actually get a good chunk down on those units. It seems like the Spellbreakers are slowly being whittled down here. Breath of Fire is not going to come down anytime soon, as the Panda is extremely low, and it seems like he will be picked off at level 5 once again by the Archmage's Fireball. I can't see the cooldowns for the Demon Hunter, but I believe Metamorphosis is very close to being completed, completely off cooldown. For now, he is getting chunked, which needs to be a little careful there. I mean, you do gain a little bit of health from Metamorphosis, but you'd want all the health you can get. Level 8 on the Demon Hunter, meanwhile level 6 on the Archmage. It seems like Brilliant Aura level 3 has not been learned, as at this point in the game, Mass Teleport might actually just be helpful. Go in when the Metamorphosis is on cooldown, and go out when it is not. So we'll see how well Sok uses Mass Teleport, but for now he can only bring a limited amount of units because Mass Teleport can only TP 16. Here we go here, going after this expansion once again. Expansion, the main base should be out of gold, so I mean that is true for both sides. And these two bases are the only remaining gold mines available. Mass Teleport is being channeled, and those units will be able to retreat. I believe those are real giants. Yep, they are real giants, so yikes. Sok has a lot of work to do. He has to play really guerrilla, and I don't think he can actually fight head on anymore. 3 giants are a pain to actually deal with, and they are +2/+2 in upgrades, so that's a lot of health to actually burn through. And going more spell breakers instead of spell casters, yeah, not good in terms of weapon types either. Metamorphosis on the Demon Hunter, surprisingly, I don't actually know when he used that, but it is going to go on cooldown very soon. Mass Teleport being used. Uh-oh, here's the Demon Hunter though. Will be changing back to his original form, and we'll see if Sok actually chooses to fight this. He is about 10 supply down, so he has to pick his poisons a little bit. Archmage should be able to Mass Teleport right now. There we go, Mass Teleport is on the way, and it seems like not much has been lost for the human player. And he actually goes to teleport to the other base, which is so annoying to deal with if you're dealing with Mass Teleport. As you can see here, Wisps are just being pulled out. Mass Teleport is going to be channeled once again, as it seems like Sok was aware of his opponent's positioning. Probably thanks to the Sentry Ward, I don't know. But is going to teleport back to the base. Invisible Sorcerer is going to be moving towards the main base here, probably to act as a teleport target. But if you're Moon, you probably should just go after the counterattack, because Mountain Giants, once they grab those trees, do indeed have siege damage, and they do deal quite a bit of damage, in addition to the Panda Breath of Fire. So let's see how well this siege will work. Seems like he does have a bit of cold feet here. Is going to go straight after those peasants. But for now, most of these units are just sticking around at the base to defend. Mass Teleport once again at the main base, and it seems like Moon is going to choose to back off and try and defend, because I guess he's scared of those mortar teams compared to his own Mountain Giants. Here we go here. Some of those bears are pretty low on mana. Actually, most of those bears are pretty low on mana, and they get chunked pretty well with the Fork Lightning from the Naga Sea Witch. The heroes have joined the fight. Panda is very close to level 6 himself. Will the Demon Hunter go for a Metamorphosis? Doesn't seem like it, as the Mass Teleport is going to come in, and the human army is going to go out. So yeah, this is basically how Sok is going to win this game. He has to slowly weaken his opponent, hidden round and stuff, because he definitely can't deal with 2 ultimate abilities from the Night Elf player. Army supply 56 versus 66. Invisible units just acting as targets for the Mass Teleport. A priest there. You can see he is going to choose the less defended target, and I believe Mass Teleport should be coming in very soon, unless this Granite Camp is going to be started. Oh, Teleport coming in. Demon Hunter sees it immediately, is going to run back immediately himself, and going after the Ancient of Laws here. About 6 supply down for Sok. will he choose to fight? Storm Earth and Fire is going to be initiated. This is extremely dangerous for Sock, because now that Storm is in the game, Cyclone can just cancel Mass Teleport's channeling, and this is very, very bad for the human player. There we go, Mass Teleport is going to be cycloned, and that is going to be game for Sock. So, yep, victory for Moon. I did say Mass Teleport was a key point in how Sock could win, but that was before Storm came into the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys again next time.